Cassandra, and I have a philosophy called Sparkle-Centered Living. And what I learned yesterday was that there is a desperate need for motivation, for people speaking about encouragement for young people. Suicide rates are something that was discussed at a talk I got to see yesterday. And that is something that can be avoided. Right now, there are hospital wards full of eating disorder victims, and we really need to get to the root of the problem sooner rather than later. So how do people, children, fall into these sad and desperate situations? How do they do that? A lot of it is the breakdown in the family, and my minor in university was family and child. My major was philosophy. So creating a philosophy for families to feel more encouraged, especially young people, it was a dream of mine that I did and continue to make come true. So you can look back on my blog at things I've done to encourage young people, but their very heart and soul is something that also needs motivation and encouragement. So making sure that they know who they are and expressing who they are through art, through their own surroundings, those kinds of expressions are important to them. And sometimes people break down and feel very isolated. That's what the speaker told me and the rest of the people there yesterday. They're not just speaking to me alone, okay? I know that. But he went on to talk about isolation, breakdown of the family. These are reasons people feel disencouraged, unencouraged as children, and go on to feel this way as they grow into adults. So in university, I said, why do people break down in the family? What leads to dysfunction? This was something I really wanted to learn. In high school, I won an award for family studies because I received the top mark in the area. So that is an area that I have a really good sense about. And from what the speaker was saying yesterday, this is a problem in our society that is difficult to deal with. People don't know what to do, what to say, what if I say the wrong thing. This is something that we need counselors for, but we also need people to speak about these things and to be truly motivating to people, to be good mentors, to be good examples, and let these children know that they're not isolated, to let people know that they're not isolated in the world, that there are people who care. There are people who want to reach out to them and love them without even knowing it. So that's really where I'm coming from, where I love you already and I don't even know you, but I've created this for you from a very loving place and from a very strategic place of learning about the family, studying social science, and learning the reasons and the processes behind why people become depressed, why people want to reach for that extra food, eating disorders, become bulimic, etc. So having anyone talk about motivation, having anyone express motivation to these people before they become this way, and during too, is important. So that's part of my mission. So along the way, I meet people. So yesterday was a day that I met someone and several people who propelled me in that direction again and encouraged me again to keep teaching this work, because it's not valued. Motivation is not valued, especially when it's from the heart, when it's from a special place and created from a special place of integrity, authenticity, and genuineness. It's so easy in our world to get caught up in media and say, look what that person has. I don't have that thing. That's another reason people, especially young people, become depressed. The materialism of our society is part of it. They actually feel like, I'll never be able to own those things, so now I'm getting lower and lower on that emotional scale. So those things really do affect young people. So my mission is to help those people realize that it's not about material things and feel less isolated, and that people do care about them. So I'm really excited to bring whatever I can in my sparkle-centered mission to that place. So I'll talk more about that in the future. Nothing's written in stone, but I would like to do that, and I'm excited about that, and excited enough to make a video about it. That there are pockets, especially of people who really need the help. And one thing Adrienne Rich talked about is going to help the most powerless people. People who feel the most powerless. Because they do have resources, they do have people around them who can help them. It's a matter of making that connection in the mind with these young people, especially before they decide to take their lives. So this is a very important topic that needs so much work. So we see a lot of motivational people in the world who might not know that. We see a lot of speakers in the world. That's something to speak on. That's something to really hone in on, is that people in the world are so sad that they are taking their own lives and reaching out for these band-aid solutions that lead to eating disorders. So my other videos are sometimes more peppy, but I really did feel so sad when I was hearing the numbers and the reasons and the stories behind this particular dilemma in our society. That's so often overlooked, and some people have said, sparkle, is that something you want to use as a name? But these people out there, they need some sparkle. They need to be uplifted. They need to become sparkle-centered. Not all sparkly and happy and going crazy in the world, but just sparkle-centered. They need to find themselves. They need to know their truth, the truth of who they are, and not come off center. So part of sparkle-centered living too is to radiate out. So when you reach that radiating stage, you're very centered in your soul and self, and you're not hurting other people. You're radiating out with the beauty of who you are. So that is something that really did move me. I know I feel and sound emotional right now because it really does hurt my heart that someone at such a young age can take their life, that there's so little encouragement, there's so little in this world for them to grasp, and it really does just leave me speechless. The huge divide between how much we can help people and the depression rates and suicide rates that exist right now. So I'm going to leave you with that, and also leave you with the idea that I created Sparkle-Centered Living to go where the help is needed most, to really hone in on the person's mind needing the sparkle that is centered, to create a lifestyle for them that is going to help them no matter what their religion, no matter what their culture. Any person in a diverse world such as ours could read this and become happy and learn from it. And that's what my work is about. There are many versions of this work. I hope it finds these people. I hope it actually lands and is activated in the mind. Through Toastmasters, we know that communication is something that goes in one ear and out the other, and it's so difficult for people to really grasp your message. So that's why I named my work Sparkle-Centered Living, and that's why I feel the need to keep talking about it and being pushy about it sometimes. So my friend was like, she's going to do that thing again where she says, well, I could speak here and I could motivate here. You have to be on top of a mission all the time. You have to be putting yourself in front of people and saying, yes, I really do see the need here, and I have something to say, and I have something to give, and I could contribute here. So I know I do seem sad right now, but when I do go to speak to people about motivation, I will be more encouraging and my spirits will be lifted, because I will actually be in front of someone who I can help and add to their life. There's so much people can do in the world. It's just a matter of connecting the dots and making that happen. But it really is so simple. It really is. So I'm going to leave you with those ideas, and remember, Sparkle-Centered Living, it's part of the Art Journalist collection. I know it seems like I'm bragging or promoting it too much, but you need to associate this name with me, this face, Cassandra, and I will be quirky and funny with them, I promise.